The Swedish landscape, a tapestry of dense forests, shimmering lakes, and rugged coastlines, holds a silent history etched into its very stones. The Runamo Runes, a cryptic inscription system that has puzzled linguists, archaeologists, and enthusiasts for over a century. Unlike the better-known Eldafuthark runes used throughout Scandinavia during the Viking Age, the Runamo runes are geographically restricted to a relatively small area in central Sweden, primarily around the provinces of Värmland and Dalarna. The earliest known inscriptions date back to the late 16th century, a period of significant social and religious upheaval in Sweden, marking a stark contrast to their Viking predecessors. What sets the Runamo runes apart is their enigmatic nature. They're not easily translated using conventional runic alphabets, leading to speculation about their origin, purpose, and the language they represent. The name Runamo Runes was coined by the Swedish linguist and historian Wilhelm Fransjö in 1926, solidifying their designation as a distinct runic tradition despite the lack of a definitive etymological root for the name itself. Initial observations suggested a possible connection to older runic systems, but attempts to correlate the symbols with Elder Futhark, Younger Futhark, or other regional runic variations proved largely unsuccessful. Instead, the Runamo runes present a unique set of characters, approximately 30-40 distinct symbols, often depicting stylized natural elements, animals, and geometric shapes, rendering standard linguistic analysis problematic. The sheer volume of inscribed stones, of 1,600, found within the limited geographical area speaks to a widespread, yet localized, practice of inscription, hinting at a community or groups who use them for a specific, unknown purpose. The discovery of Runamo runestones increased dramatically in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, fueled by amateur collectors, local historians, and the growing interest in Swedish folklore and antiquities. The earliest documented finds often lacked systematic recording and preservation, leading to inconsistencies in documentation and, in some cases, the loss of valuable contextual information. The predominant theory suggests the Runamo runes were not used for general communication, but rather served a ritualistic or memorial function, possibly connected to burial practices, local beliefs, or boundary markers. Many stones are found near old burial grounds, often situated on the edges of villages or farms, reinforcing the burial and memorial hypothesis. Some researchers have proposed a link between the Runamo runes and the tradition of memory stones, stones placed to commemorate significant events or individuals, especially in the absence of formal written records. The potential influence of local folk beliefs and pre-Christian traditions cannot be disregarded, as the symbols seem to resonate with elements of nature and folklore prevalent in the region. The geometric shapes found in the Runamo runes have led some to propose connections to ancient Nordic cosmological beliefs, such as the idea of the world tree or the 9 realms. The prevalence of animal depictions, including bears, wolves, deer, and birds, suggests the symbolic importance of these creatures within the Runamo culture, potentially reflecting their roles in local ecosystems or spiritual beliefs. The consistent use of the axe symbol, a common motif in Norse mythology and Viking imagery, further complicates the interpretation, potentially indicating a connection to ancestral traditions or concepts of power. The limited time frame in which the Runamo runes were used, roughly between the late 16th and early 8th centuries, makes it challenging to determine the social and political context in which they arose. The Reformation and the rise of Lutheranism in Sweden during this period could have influenced the use of the Runamo runes, either directly suppressing their usage or subtly altering their meaning. The transition from Old Norse to Swedish, the development of a standardized written Swedish language, and the decline of traditional folk practices likely contributed to the gradual disappearance of the Runamo runes. Despite numerous attempts at decipherment, The Runamo Runes remain stubbornly enigmatic. No definitive translation has emerged that consistently accounts for the inscribed texts. Linguistic analyses have explored various possibilities, including proposed connections to Old Norse dialects, indigenous languages, and even constructed languages or secret codes. Statistical analyses of the symbol frequencies and patterns have revealed potential grammatical structures and recurring sequences, but the meaning of these structures remains elusive. The lack of parallel texts or bilingual inscriptions further complicates the decipherment process, as there's no Rosetta Stone equivalent to provide a key to understanding the language. Recent research has focused on incorporating digital humanities techniques, such as machine learning and computational linguistics, to identify patterns and relationships that might have been missed by traditional methods. Some scholars propose that the Runamo Runes may not represent a full-fledged language in the conventional sense, but rather a symbolic system or a form of visual communication intended for a specific community. The possibility that the Runamo Runes served as a form of visual storytelling, conveying narratives or myths through a sequence of symbols, is also being explored. Local communities in Värmland and Dalarna maintain a strong connection to the Runamo runestones, viewing them as a significant part of their cultural heritage and identity. Efforts are underway to preserve and document the Runamo runestones, ensuring their protection from vandalism and the ravages of time. The ongoing research and renewed interest in the Runamo runes highlight the enduring appeal of unsolved mysteries and the power of ancient inscriptions to connect us to the past.